What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's me review of New Order. This film is directed by Michel Franco. Now, before we begin, if you like this channel, awesome, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome, hit that like button, as well as commenting below any video to watch, including this one. So this story, which is New Order, is a story of a Mexican coup in a specified date. It basically tells kind of a story about, a civil unrest in Mexico and whatnot. And in the process, we have this really rich family who's in the middle of this wedding. And, they're having this wedding during the actual coup or the civil unrest and stuff like that. So in the process of everything that's happening, we have this character named Marielle who has just gotten married. She's been given a lot of money. And she basically is trying to help a friend who works for the family, give him some money so his wife can go to a private clinic because the hospital has been overrun with a lot of civil unrest people. And in the process, she's kidnapped, held for ransom, and it's basically a story about trying to get her free and stuff like that, and about what it's like for a very poor population to basically uprise and try and take over the government, and that the effects of how that works and so on and so forth. So this movie has won the prestigious Golden Lion Award, which was through the Venice Film Festival. It's like, getting the Academy Award for Best Picture or whatever through Venice. It's a movie that, like a lot of Venice Film Festival's Golden Lion Awards, has always been a movie that's not necessarily become super popular. It's not like, The Godfather winning it or something like that. And so when it wins this award like that, sometimes the movie can be controversial, or it can be something that's not well liked amongst the critics and the fandom and stuff like that. And then I've been reading up on Michel Franco, and he hasn't been well perceived as a director. He's actually kind of hated. But I actually didn't know any of this before I asked for a review copy. Thanks to Naian, by the way, for allowing me to see this movie early. So I've been hearing a lot of bad buzz about this movie, like a lot of it since, like the last couple of days before I watched the movie. And that worried me some because I liked the trailer. I thought it'd be kind of a cool thriller, a coup in Mexico, or a coup in just in general. Like how do people like, how do they wave that and stuff like that? How do they wave the waters of some situation like that? You look at like a movie like Roma, it's very similar to that type of scenario and whatnot. So I was really intrigued. I like movies from other countries that will bring up political ideas and political theologies and so on and so forth. And so this movie is only 85 minutes long. It's very, very short. The one good thing I can say about this movie, it moves pretty quickly. And so with that said, I have to be fairly honest with, you guys who are watching this review. I really hated this movie. I really did. Not only did I hate this movie, I think this movie is one of the worst movies I've seen in quite a while, to be fairly honest, because it's not that I don't appreciate what Franco is doing with trying to be in your face with the guerrilla style filmmaking, pushing the envelope. If you look at something like Gaspar Noé, I think the guy is pretty brilliant when he tries to push the envelope. There are some stuff that I don't like what he does. But the movie he did, which was Climax, I thought was one of the best films I saw that year. But when you have a movie like this and you're trying to tell a specific story, you're trying to have specific feelings and emotions that come out of you as you're watching it, I think the movie just completely fails on that aspect. I think it fails on the violent aspect. I think it fails on the character dynamic aspects. You have no real kind of, you don't really have any investment with any of these characters when they're told to do something by the guerrilla warfare people or the people doing the coup. It doesn't feel like a very well constructed idea. And when you get into like the very uncomfortable stuff that happens throughout this movie, and then when you see what Mariella has to go through, it's just like you're just doing it for shock value, to be fairly honest. And like I said, I appreciate what he's trying to go for, but a movie that tries to shock like Human Centipede doesn't mean the movie's good. It doesn't mean the movie's effective, and it just means the movie was trying to be something that it just doesn't totally work. And that's where I completely fall off the radar with this movie. I really felt this movie is so haphazardly done. I think it's half-hearted. I think it's, half-baked. I don't think it's a very interesting film. I don't think it's a very dynamic film. I don't think the characters are interesting at all. Even the main characters, they don't get enough screen time for me to care about them at all. It's a movie about all the rich people are bad people. And yeah, there's a lot of bad rich people, but there's also a lot of bad poor people. There's just a lot of bad people in general, and this feels like a movie about misery. And I don't like these types of films. I don't get invested in these types of films. It takes a lot for me to be really invested in something that's just pure misery and pure torture. And you can look at something like Schindler's List, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, or you can look at, like I said, Human Centipede and stuff like that, and it just, I don't know. This movie is just awful. It's one of the worst films I've seen this year. Like I said, I get it. I understand. It has some interesting ideas being presented, but it just doesn't make for a great story. I don't think the direction is very good. I do think the look of Mexico, like the camera work, is pretty decent, and it's a very beautiful place to look at. But it's also it's a lot of turmoil that's going on over there with some of the unrest that's going on in Mexico with the gang lords and warlords and stuff like that. So overall, I just can't recommend this movie at all. You might get more enjoyment out of it than I did, but for a movie that I actually enjoyed the trailer for, to become this disappointed and kind of reluctant to even want to watch, like even talk about it anymore, I don't care. So anyways, that'll be my take on New Order. Thank you so much for watching. If you've seen this movie, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Are you interested in seeing this movie? Is it something that you look forward to seeing? I think it's gonna be in the theaters or VOD. Let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find out what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome, hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.